Hello, lovely ladies. Welcome to Thursday, September 7th. This is Grace here at the Comfiness with Grace. I am here. Hang tight. Let me get. There we go. Good morning. You guys, I have my big sweater on. I'm frozen. It's freezing here. It's so chilly. It's going to get up to 75, but the mornings have been in the 50s and it feels cool. Feels good most days, but today I'm feeling a little chilled. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Like I said, it's Thursday, September 7th. I'm going to be working with the cardinal napkin, which I'm very excited about. This is new to the shop. Used it yesterday to create an art journal page inside the Craft Therapy Club. And we were really working with textures and some powder and liquid watercolors, which is very different than the pressed watercolor paints that you're used to. But anyway, we explored and created with that yesterday in the group. So, when you have a napkin, you get 4 panels. We used one yesterday. I'm going to use 2 more today. And then the last one will be I'll put it in the shop with the keepsake journals. It'll be one of the inclusions in that keepsake journal purchase if anybody buys one. So there you have it. That's what we're up to. Let me check and see if you guys can see and hear me. Let's open Facebook and see what it's doing this morning. I'm all done. I thought by now I would want a coffee because I'm so stinking cold, but it's not working out that way. I'm too full to have a coffee. I don't want coffee, but I'm freezing, so I want coffee. Does that make any sense? Does anybody get, when you're cold, I always want something hot to drink. I don't even want tea, nothing. I have my protein shake and now I feel like, bleh, feel full. Hey, Lori. Hey, Stephanie. Missy's here. You're lucky to have a chill. I know, Missy, isn't it true? You always want what you don't have. Isn't that true? Because I know so many of you have been in that like over 100 sweltering heat. It's crazy how different it is, right? Hey, Gina. Mary's here. Jenna. Thanks for fluffing the nest, spreading the blessings, sharing the wealth. However you want to say it. Thanks for doing it. I appreciate you guys. Hey, Lisa Kid. All right. So before we actually do the project, so I have my napkin, my little cardinal napkin, which is, let me get this screen bigger so you guys can see this better. There we go. So much better. Okay, so this is the cardinal napkin. Used it yesterday. Going to use it 2 more times today and then have that extra panel available for shop owners. Well, this is Happy Mail that I got from Miss Missy down there in Texas. It's cold. It's not cold down there. I know, Missy. It's not cold down there. But she sent me some Happy Mail, so I thought we'd open it this morning. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. So, Missy, thanks for the Happy Mail, my friend. Thank you, thank you. I don't know what's in this. It is packaged up well. So let's see if we can get into it without, I'm always so afraid of when you get a package, I'm always afraid of ripping or tearing or cutting through what might be inside. Oh, that was easy enough to do. It looks like books. It looks like books. What do we have here, Miss Missy? What? Kathleen Wood. Oh, this is the woman that you were saying you love her books. The Flame and the Flower and Shanna. Oh my goodness, girlfriend. What a treat. Ooh, pretty. That's so pretty. Okay, let's see what she says in the card. Miss Missy treating me. That is such a beautiful card. I mentioned the book Shanna during the live on your porch. We've been doing happy hour on my porch on Fridays with the Facebook subscribers. So Missy's been joining me on my porch for happy hour on Fridays. And we've been reading the Flower Letters, which is a subscription that you join. So I joined it to share it with subscribers. But you join it and then you get letters every couple of weeks. The letters create a story and we've been really enjoying that. And she mentioned this story. So she said, I mentioned the book, Shanna, during the live on your porch while reading the love letters. I love watching you and learning new things. You have such a sweet spirit. Oh, God bless you. God bless you, Miss Missy. Hope you enjoy these. Let me know. Of course. Of course. You know what, Missy, I got to tell you something. Well, I'll tell everybody. But Missy, you just sent me this sweet surprise. So I'll tell you, I've said to my husband before that my side table at my bed where I keep my reading materials, it's either like prayer books, religious books, which I love, So I have a lot of those, and I have a lot of health books about health and nutrition for people with autoimmune diseases and inflammation, like Gannon and I have, because I want to be as well educated as possible. So I've joked that it's like a medical library. Next to my bed is like a medical library. I do not actually have a lot of just novels, like read for pleasure, read to get lost in a story. I don't have a ton of that. So thank you for the gift. I'm going to dig into one of these tonight for sure. Or I have to take Gannon to, well, I say I have to take Gannon. Okay, Gannon and I are going to Grand Forks today because he has an orthodontist appointment. So it's a 90-minute drive one way to go see the orthodontist. Yes, it is, because we live in rural North Dakota. So I'm heading out with Gannon today. And for years, the kids have been, this is Gannon's second round of treatment for his mouth and his bite. He's got some bite issues that they want to address. So for future health and wellness. Anyway, it doesn't matter. 90 miles. For years, we've been doing this, and I was the only licensed driver of the children. But I realized today, Missy, that Gannon can drive me. He is 16 years old. He's had his permit for 2 years. He's been driving on his own for, I don't know how many months, a year. I don't even know. I don't know. I've lost track with the two of them. But anyway, he's a licensed driver. So Gannon can drive me while I get some reading in. Oh, good timing, Miss Missy. All right, you guys, I'm chucking it. I'm going to throw it across the room. There's just not a lot of room right here where I am. So I threw the box. I'm keeping the card. I keep every single one of your cards, you guys. I do not get rid of these cards. This one was from recent Happy Mail I got as well. I keep these cards and I put them in a keepsake journal, like junk journal, keepsake journal, because they are so treasured to me. When you send me Happy Mail, it's such a treat. I bless each one of you that are such good little hearts to send me Happy Mail. So thank you, Missy. You are the best. Thank you for sprinkling, Miss Sparky Chris. Yes, Jana, that's a good one. She says the flower letters are awesome. Y'all need to join the subscriber group. It's always fun. Yes, the Facebook subscriber group is where I share the Adelaide letters that we're reading. And it's been so much fun. It has been. And no worries, just like regular social media, if you miss any of those live, I go live in there. I actually don't really do pre-recorded for Facebook subscribers. It's always live. But anyway, they're always available on replay. So you really don't have to worry about missing anything. You might miss it live, but you can always catch the content later. So good morning, Janet. I'm making sure I see everybody and say hello. You're the best, Miss Missy. You really are. All right, I'm going to hop over. Let's make this screen big so you can see the table, because we're going to do a tag. I'm thinking Christmas ornament, but let's talk about that too, because this napkin, I just want to make sure, that you guys can see and I can see you. Hey, Kitty Milder. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so this napkin, it has right on the front, so the cardinal has right on the front, there is pine and pine cone. There are different, I don't know, I'm not a botanist, people, but there are different greenery leaves around. I don't know what kind. Is that a eucalyptus leaf? I don't know. But if you notice over here, there are 2 acorns. There's a sprig of brown leaf, and there's a brown leaf here, which symbolizes to me fall. But the pine cone and the pine needles, to me, with the bird, make me think winter. I don't even know what that thing is right there. I told the girls yesterday, what is that? Does anybody know? It's some kind of, botanical. I don't know what. It's not an acorn. But anyway, I really feel like this design crosses the span from fall to winter. And I think it's evergreen in that sense, where it could be up for a couple of seasons. And if you live, like we live in a wooded area, our street is woodland. We live in a wooded area. We have a lot of pine trees, a lot of different kind of trees, but lots and lots of pine trees. And so I feel like this matches. We live in a log cabin sided home. I think this would be up in our house all year round. It would be totally fine depending on how you design it. So we're going to use this today to make a tag, which I think could be an ornament on a tree. And I know a lot of you do year round trees. If you follow Kim, Jenkins, she, over on her page, she always has that rotating tree behind her that's so beautiful. It doesn't matter if it's summer or winter, spring, fall. She always has her tree and it's decorated for the season. So, and I know a lot of you do that. So I think ornament for one of those year-round trees, and this really could span, depending on the decor of your home, for sure, fall and winter. But even in my home, I think it could stay up year-round. You love this napkin? I do too, Mary. This one is one of the new ones that are in the shop. If you haven't visited the shop recently, like today I added the wax seals to the shop. I don't make some big, huge announcement about that. I don't have the time to be doing a lot of that, but I added about 6 new napkins, about 6 new rice papers. And then today I added the wax seals that you can purchase, pre-made wax seals, so that you don't have to go through the investment of buying all the wax and the glue melter and all of the seal heads. The seal heads are about $10 a piece. So if you wanted to have multiple designs, it can get pricey to invest in these. So I thought, well, this might be a really good service to provide to you guys. If you want to put wax seals on your projects, I love them in my paper journals, but they could go on greeting cards, gift tags, gift boxes or bags. They could go on any project you want, just to add in another design element. They're all made for you, and all you have to do is hot glue or just regular craft glue them onto your project. So those are now available in the shop too. Mary says we have cardinals in our feeder all year in Sherman, Texas. Oh, wow. Aren't you a lucky duck? Okay. I haven't been doing it often, but we are going to paint this. I haven't been painting a whole lot lately. I'm looking for like a creamy white color in my paint. I think I ran out of, let me just look one more place. I think I ran out of my Waverly, my creamy white and Waverly, that plaster color. I think it's gone. I think it'd be gone. I'm trying to use up, rather than buy more paints, I'm trying to use up what I have, girls. Anybody else in that mode? I have so many bottles of paint, and I'm feeling like the need to really use it up. So I'm going to create a color. I want it to be like a creamy white. I don't have that though. I have this big bottle of paint that is called linen, and maybe that's enough. It feels still just a little too much color in it. I want it more toward the white. So let's kind of create a new color here, because we have a white background on our napkin. So I just want it a little brighter than that. So I'm going to take a little bit of white and a little bit of that color, and we're going to try to, we're going to be a mixologist here and mix our own. This might be the best tool to use for this. I don't like using my paintbrushes to mix paints, because then the paintbrush gets all goopy and it's really hard to clean all that paint out of the bristles. So let's see if we can do it this way. Yes, Jana, I have thrown, she said, I'm in the same boat, trying to use up old before I buy new, particularly with the paints. You can mix up your own colors. So you don't need to have every shade of purple, for instance. Have a dark purple, have a light purple, and then if you have white on hand, you can mix up any version of that in between as well, right? So I'm trying to like get down to the basics and use up. I have some paint bottles lately. I started to say, I've been throwing a lot of them out because they just gotten so old and dry, and they're not, I can't reconstitute them. So I'm starting to just throw out the old ones that are so bad. It kind of breaks my heart, because I hate to waste things, but it is what it is. I can't bring them back to life, unfortunately. So let's see if we like this color. It's a little bit brighter than what we had. Yeah, very, very neutral, soft color. I have way, way more paint than I need here. So what I'll probably do, since I have all that extra paint, is go into one of my art journals and lay it down on some of the pages, or do some hand painted papers for use in my junk journals. That's probably what I'll do with that. But I really do this. I want this whole thing painted. So I am going to go through. I don't always do this, but I think I'm going to wrap that design around the sides. So I need the sides to not be the natural color. You need them to be painted, just like the front. So we're going to do all of the sides here. How can I hold this without getting it all over me? So who's creating today and what are you creating? Who and what? Who and what? Have you guys been following Miss Chris Hunter? Do you guys know where she is? If you know where Chris Hunter is, where in the world is Chris Hunter and family? She's with her daughter. And I think her daughter's friend, if I remember right, a couple of the ladies, they're on a trip. Who remembers where they are? Have you been following? I've been following a little bit. She was on early this morning and I was like, dang girl, it must be the time difference, right? Because I know that Chris Hunter is not a morning person. You probably know that about her too if you've been hanging out with her and all. Oh, let's see. I got too much paint on my fingers. I gotta do a little wipey here. Yep, some of you know where she is. You're saying in the comments. I'd love to see these comments. Love it, love it, love it. In the same book, old. Yeah, she's been moving around Europe, hasn't she? I think she started in Rome, but she's been to Rome and Naples for sure. I don't know what other Italian cities, if anybody knows. Where in the world is our friend Chris? It looks like she's having just an amazing time. She was live last night. Did you guys see? She was doing ATC cards from Italy. I watched the very beginning, but then family life got me distracted. The people I live with. We had to go to mass. We had mass last night. Gannon, Landon, and I went to mass last night for the kickoff of the religious ed, CCD, used to be called CCD, religious ed season. Kicked off last night with a mass. It was really quite lovely, actually. We walked in and, our boys are older on the spectrum. So CCD runs from, first grade through 12th grade, and my boys are 11th and 12th graders. So they're oldest in the group, right? But when we got to the church, one of the coordinators said, Landon, would you mind doing the responsorial psalm today? He's like, sure, no problem. So they pull him aside to kind of give him what he's going to do. And then Gannon said, I guess I'll go in the sacristy and see if they need any more help. So he ran over and didn't run, but, went over into the sacristy, and I waited in the hall for them, like I didn't want to sit without them. So I was like waiting and waiting. Where are my boys? And then I finally said, one of the kids came out and I said, is Gannon helping with mass? Oh, sure. He's going to be an altar server. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll go find a seat for myself. Both my boys were helping, which is it just warms my little heart. Let's see. I'm checking comments. Let's see. I gotta look up for a minute so we can keep chatting. Yeah, she's been to. So it's interesting because I think she's in France. I think she's in France now. She started in Italy, but I think she is in France now. This morning, where was she this morning though? Could she have been back in Italy? Is she making her way back to Italy? I don't know. Although I've been thinking the whole time, good for you, Miss Chris. Take the time, take a little girl trip with your daughter and her friend, and enjoy while you can. Enjoy it. I don't think she's ever done a trip like that as far as what I remember her telling me. She's like, this is the first time she's done this trip. So it's like, really, what a blessing, right? Okay, the whole thing is painted. I know, Debbie, right? May they always be like that. That's my main hope, is to just keep them connected with their church family and with God especially on a daily basis, but with their church family to not just be there, but to participate and be part of the community, an active member of the community. I think it just enriches your life so much when you have a church family that you can share things with, like serving. That's, serving your community. I think it's so important. So hopefully they'll continue to do that. The colleges that we've looked at, even if they're public colleges, we're asking the questions like, is there a Newman Center here? What is the faith life like? Because it's too important to us to just leave it to chance. Right? Okay, this is drying up pretty well. I'm going to put this aside. This will get used somehow. I don't really want to waste it, but for now, I'm just going to set it aside. Where can I put it where it's not going to be in the way? Let's do that. And then we'll be on to decoupaging. I'm going to stick these things in the water. Hang tight, paper towel. I have this tiny little jar that I'm using for my water to put my paintbrushes in, but I've forgotten for days. All right, I'm going to show you because you're going to giggle at me, girls. I promise you, you'll laugh and you're going to think, thank goodness I'm not the only one. Days of paintbrushes. That's a palette knife. That probably can come out because that's easy to clean, right? The paintbrushes, I need my paintbrush cleaner. These things, you can usually, if it's still wet, you can just wipe this stuff off. Days worth. I gotta clean them. I got to get to it. I just haven't done it. I use the Tim Holtz Distress sprayed muslin and stenciled in paint. Gonna put on Planter's nut tin for knickknacks. When I iron, it is parchment paper I use. Is that a question mark? I don't iron a whole lot, Jana. I don't iron my napkins on a whole lot because I really like the natural look of, I'm going to dig out some wet paint. There's just a little bit got in there. But the iron-on method absolutely can be done on wood. Generally, when I use the iron-on method, I use one of these Teflon sheets in between. But definitely don't use wax paper. You know, parchment paper would be the way to go if you don't have a Teflon sheet. To set the paint. You wouldn't use an iron to set paint, Jana. You wouldn't need the iron to set your paint on a wood project like that. If I'm understanding. Andrea's guessing Italy. I think she's still, well, I don't know. Maybe she moved back to Italy this morning. Like I said, did she round back up? I'm checking that. I'm going back and seeing if I missed any comments. Good morning, Cindy. Not seeing. I thought I saw a question and now I can't find it. Denise, oh, there it is. Denise is asking about Chalk Couture. I just haven't done a whole lot lately. And what I have done has been in the VIP group. I've been sharing some videos. I do have a couple of, did you guys know with Club Couture, by the way, I haven't even opened this one yet, have I? Yes, I did. That Club Couture now, you not only get the stencil and the paste, it's the monthly subscription for Chalk Couture. You also get the wood cutout to go with it. So this is Wonderful Matte, or excuse me, Words Matter. That's what that is. It's the background for the Words Matter part of this. So you can have like a two-tiered or layered design. Anyway, that's a new development, like in the last few months. I just haven't been doing a whole lot lately with it, Denise. There's only so many hours in a day. And honestly, my days have been pretty full. All right, this is nice and dry. So we can move on to the Mod Podge. You can use, well, I say Mod Podge. I'll probably use my Pentart. You can use any decoupage glue you want. We're gonna decoupage this on here. Let's prep the napkin. Okay, remember I said we get 4 panels. I used one on this art journal page yesterday. This is one of the art journals that I use in, like here, this page was all about, no, that goes in a different place. This day was about texture. We were talking texture. Where's the page that goes with it? Anyway, we practice in here. I can't find it, girls. And we talk about texture and the different kind of products that, and the results that they give. So we use our art journals equally for doing that and for just playing and practicing with our supplies. So yesterday we did the cardinal in that group. I have 3 left. So I'm going to put 1 on here. So let's cut 1 off for today's tag project. I'm going to put 1 in my keepsake journal. We'll do that together today. Let me grab my keepsake journal. That's going to go in here. And then we're going to have, I have 1 to put in the store with the keepsake journal when someone buys the keepsake journal, I send them 5 napkin panels as well. So it's a way of sharing what I have, because honestly, when you buy a set of napkins, I only need 1 or 2 panels. I don't need, when you buy a set of 40 napkins and you get 4 panels on each, that's a lot of panels, right? You got to find ways to use them up. All right, this is going here. I think it's going to look lovely. I think I want to remove some of the white part of the napkin just to minimize that a little. So I'm going to fussy cut. Let me get a sharp pair of scissors, a small blade, and I'm going to fussy cut around this a little bit. Hey, Carol. How are you, Virginia? She was in Pompeii this morning. See, Jana knows. Yeah, I thought that she was out of Paris. Boy, I can't wait to hear from her about this trip. You know, I've told you this before. She's in a group of business buddies that I have. We get together every other Tuesday for a couple hours and we just talk about how things are going, what things are like bumps in the road for you. Is the technology working? What have you found that helps? You know, just business chatter, girlfriend chatter. And I can't wait until we get together again so she can tell our little group how everything's been going on her trip and what her favorite parts were. I don't have a ton of time to be hanging out with the girls. Like Dina Ray is in that group. So Dina, Designs by Dina. She's in our little business buddy group. Kathy DiDomenico, Terry Burton. I mean, these girls go live at least once a day, sometimes more, and in multiple places. And I said to them, girls, I love you, but I don't have the time to follow every single one of you, you know, every live that you do, as I'm sure you don't have time to be in every live that I do. So I said, please don't ever take offense if I'm there just for a few seconds and I say hello to everybody, but I might buzz out because I have to go live or my family is waiting on me for something, or you know who it is. We're just busy girls. I'm trying to minimize the amount of white here. I don't need to eliminate it completely. It's almost going to look like a die cut sticker when I'm done. Isn't that pretty? Oh, so pretty. So I'm just going probably even like a 1/4 inch. I'm leaving the white about 1/4 of an inch of it. And I'm using the scissors. You've seen me use a paintbrush before or one of those paint pens, the watercolor paint pens. But today I'm doing this because it's going to allow me to get really detailed in between some of those leaves so that I get that sticker look that I'm looking for here. If I use the paintbrush and then torn this off, you're just not going to be as precise as you want to be. Okay, I'm almost done. This is kind of a bugger to get in here. So we're going to approach it from the other side. There we go. So I'm trying to give the basic shape of the outer leaves, going in between them, even just a little bit. It helps if I hold this up with it so you can see the detail in between those leaves, and it gives a nice shape to your graphic. And if I stay, I'm not worried about being like uber consistent, but if I stay consistent and leave a white border all the way around, that will look really nice on here. And it's big enough that I'm going to end up wrapping. I'm going to glue this down and I'm going to wrap it around the edges. And if it's an ornament hanging, that would be quite lovely because you're going to see the greenery wrapping around the edge of the project. And then we'll do some other things to jazz it up once we got that on there. Yes, they are great. It does change the whole look, doesn't it? I agree with you, Gina. Very true, very true. So now that we got that done, let me grab some decoupage glue. I think I'm trying so hard to use up that bottle of matte Pentart. Where are you? Here you are. I just have a little bit left. It's like almost empty. I don't know if I put a date on this one. I usually write dates on things when I open them so I know how long it's been around. Okay. Now, if you wanted to use the iron-on method with this, don't use this, use Mod Podge. And what you would do is you'd apply your Mod Podge all over the surface. You have to let it dry completely. Then you put this down on the Mod Podge and you put your Teflon sheet over it, and then you continuously move your iron around until what happens is the iron reheats the Mod Podge so that it gets tacky again, and then the napkin gets pushed into that tacky Mod Podge and it gives you a really smooth surface. So that's what we were talking about a few minutes ago. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use my Pentart. I like the placement here where it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this down, curl this up, and then let's get the glue down on this section. And this is a varnish and a glue, kind of like Mod Podge. You can use it on top and below. So I'm going to apply the glue, put the napkin down on it, and then you can use a pouncing brush, or you can use that brush with your glue on it and go over to secure it down onto the surface. It's up to you. I like using the pouncing brush. I just haven't been using it lately. I don't know why. There's no reason. It's just, I don't know why. I just haven't been using it lately. Okay, now that's got to dry. I can't do anything with it until it's dry, but I can get this part done. So let's get a little glue here. This is a matte finish varnish and glue, so it will not, you will not be able to see it. It'll dry. And especially we want to apply it over the whole thing so that it all matches in terms of the sheen and the look of it. So even though there's nothing up here to Mod Podge, I would want to apply a little bit of this varnish and glue up there so that it looks the same across the board. Smooth that out. Okay, I'm going to actually dry this a little bit before I do the next section. Because if I fold this back to put the glue here, this may stick to that because it's all wet. So let's give it a good dry. Are they opposite on the napkin? Yes, they are. You have two facing one direction and two facing the other direction. So yes, they are. I'm going to smooth out this glue down here. And here I have a little blip of glue that I don't want, just like I don't want a blip of it. Here too. So I'm just smoothing out the glue with my finger. I'm hardly touching it. I'm getting excess glue off there. Isn't it gorgeous, Shelly? I fell in love with this napkin when I found it. I only bought a couple of packages of it. They are on sale in the store, or for sale, available in the shop now. If you go to thecomfinesswithgrace.com, go to the shop and then go to the single napkins. That's where you'll find this one. And you can buy 2 napkins at once. That's what the single napkins are. I have another section that is napkin bundles. And in that one, you get 1 of each design, but it's a bundle of, say, 7 to 10 to 12 napkins. So then you're getting a collection of napkins. This one, you can just buy this one design and you get 2 of the napkins in the one design for that listing. This one is not available in a bundle. It's only sold individually. Okay, I'm going to, now it's still a little bit tacky, but not so much that I have to worry about it sticking to itself. So I'm going to grab some more of this. I got to get enough up here for the head because the head just juts up right there. I feel like I have too much glue on there. Okay, we're going to peel it, and it's a napkin. It's wet a little bit, so don't pull too tightly, but I'm going to pull it taut so that it stretches and we don't have a ton of wrinkles. And then we'll come over it to smooth it out with more of the glue. Concentrating so I don't talk while I'm working. Sorry, girls. Focusing on making sure that all parts of the napkin are really secured down into decoupaged, meaning like it's almost looks like it becomes one with the wood tag. Okay. I'm thinking, girls, for this one, I'm going to pull out my, I have not used it in a long time, but diamond dust, I think would look beautiful on this. So I think that's what I'm going to pull out and give it a good coat of diamond dust. What do you think? Look at this one's going to wrap around to the back too. We might as well let it. It's just a tish. If it's an ornament, you know, it might be moving around or someone may see the sides. So I think this is a good idea for an ornament. This could be a door tag too. It doesn't have to be a tree ornament. You could put it, you know, on a door, like your front door, if you like to have like a, you know, I only do this around Christmas time, but I have sets of bells on a door hanger that you can put on the doors at Christmas time. And I love the jingle of the bells at that time of year. But it's funny because when Christmas is over, I'm so ready for those bells to come off the door. Hey, Missy, I see you. All right, I have a tiny wrinkle right here. So before I dry it completely, I'm just going to push that down. Where's my brush? Tiny this little wrinkle. I want to smooth it out as much as I can. Same thing right there. I have a little one. I'm just not that person who gets too worked up about wrinkles. It doesn't bother me in the least. And in fact, I think it makes things look more natural. So I usually just leave them. I'm going to distress this a little bit, I think. I don't know. What do you think? Would you leave it plain? I was thinking about distressing the edges with some brown to match those acorns. And then, of course, we're going to put some pretty ribbon. I have a few different options sitting here with me about ribbon. Before I do any of that, though, I do want to make sure that I hit the rest of it. So this is matte, and it's the top coat and it's the glue. I don't need this much. I have way too much. I'm going to just hit the rest of the tag with a little bit of this so that it all has a matching sheen. I don't have to go over the napkin again. It already has it on top. So I don't need another top coat. Can't hurt. It's not going to hurt if you put another top coat. But my main objective is to hit the parts that didn't get any decoupage on it because it doesn't have any of the varnish on it. This is all covered with varnish, so I don't have to worry about that. But let's go to the edges and hit it with a little bit. This is one of the pine tags from Essential Stencil. You can buy them in a set of 3. I'm just using one today, but I may put together now. Okay, every month I've been putting together a craft kit and selling it, and then doing a live video to teach you how to put the project together. This month I did a craft kit, but it's pre-recorded videos that I shared for those people that bought the craft kit. It's on the store. You could check it out. It's craft kit number 6. I only have one left. I always make it available to the Craft Therapy Club first, so they get first dibs on. I had, what did I say? I had 12 or 15 of them this month. I can't remember. But I make them available to the Craft Therapy Club members first, and they get to use their discount. They always get a discount when they shop the store. And after they did their shopping, I have one of those kits left. So it doesn't even make sense for me. I can post it on the public page, but there's just one left. Anyway, I was thinking about making another craft kit for this project. So if you think you might be interested in a small, it would be like a mini craft kit, right? Because you just get the one tag, you're gonna get the one napkin. I probably would include a bottle of this glue. I have the extra small bottle, so you can try it out, and probably the ribbon to tie it. So that is an option for us to do. Just let me know if you're interested. I'm going to grab the glitter, the diamond dust, and, you know, normally when I use diamond dust, I use Mod Podge, but I think I'm just going to stick with using this since I already have it out. I just need it to be a glue that this will stick onto. And I think I was just going to put it on the pine. I don't know. Do you think I should put it over the whole thing? I was just going to put it on parts of the greenery was my idea for this tag. Hey, Christina Camille, you're watching and making food. Ooh, is it lunchtime for you? Or are you still at breakfast? But either way, enjoy. I hope it's awesome. You can't wait to get the art kit. Oh, the wood tag book kit. Yes, yes. It's so exciting. I think I mailed yours off yesterday. I think I did. Okay. So here's my, well, we're letting that glue set up a minute. Here's my napkin keepsake journal. So the extra, and when I have an extra panel from a napkin, I don't want to throw them away, and they've been sitting in a plastic bin, which does no good whatsoever. It actually stresses me out because every time I grab the plastic bin full of leftover napkins that have already been partially used, I stress out because it's gotten so full and it's just becoming unmanageable. So I started putting them in a keepsake journal. That's what I call this, a napkin keepsake journal. So these are all the napkins that I've used. This one was a Napkin Lovers Club. This was Napkin Lovers Club. So I know the napkins. It's like a scrapbook of the history of the napkins that I've used to create with. That's why I call it a keepsake journal. Anyway, this is from the Napkin Lovers Club. So I've been putting them in here, and it's just been really fun to flip through this every once in a while and see all the different napkins that I've used in the past. Now, I've not decided if, I really like this page the way it is, but there's no reason I can't come in and put paints and texture and do more decorative stuff on these pages and make it more like an art journal. But so far, what I've been doing is simply gluing the napkins down as a way to keepsake them. And then I'm taking the extra panel. So see, this napkin came with 4 napkin panels. I made the tag today. I made this art journal page yesterday. I'm going to put one in my keepsake journal. And then this one will be, I include 5 panels. When you buy a keepsake journal from my shop, I include 5 napkin panels with it to start your keepsake journal. So that will go to the shop. That other cardinal will go to the shop. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. So let's get this guy. He's gonna live here. And then what I've been trying to do is, like, this page, sometimes I leave just 1 napkin on a page because I think it's enough. I think this page doesn't need anything else. But there was one that just flipped through and saw like this. I don't think it needs anything else but enjoy the small moments. This is 1 napkin. It's the bunny with the glasses. This was in one of the bundles I had a few years ago in the shop. And just the border that was on that napkin. And this page makes me so happy. I will not put anything else on here because this page is, to me and in my eyes, it's complete. Now, this page, I could certainly put something here, but I'm going to wait until there's something matching that comes up, something that makes sense to me to put with her. She's like one of those sassy napkins. It says, but my favorite yoga position is sitting on the sofa with a glass of wine. So I like to put, animal, that you don't have to do it this way, but like Christmas, winter, we got the penguin with his scarf on and his winter cap, and I've got Santa with believe. I like to put coordinating things on pages if there's going to be more than one. So I'm going to put this here, and if I put something else, it's going to either be fall, winter. And you can put them wherever you want, but let's put this guy right here. He's going to fit just perfectly right there. I think I will just cut off. I'm not going to be as fussy as I was on the tag, but I'm just going to cut off some of the excess white. Really rough. I'm basically just doing a big circle. I don't want any sharp edges though. So you can use any book or journal or notebook or sketchbook as your napkin keepsake journal. I sell my altered books, meaning they have been decorated on the front and back cover. I sell them on my website as napkin keepsake journals, and I include 5 napkin panels so that you can start your own napkin keepsake journal. So this is really such a pleasure for those of us who are napkin crafters and who have a ton of napkins, like partially used napkins. It's such a great way to keepsake them in a book. And this one was decorated in the Craft Therapy Club. I showed them how to use a doily, some fabric, and this is a piece of rice paper called Lovely Lena. Again, that's in the shop. I think it might be 1 or 2 sheets of this left. Anyway, that's all available in the shop. So I love to show you ways that you can use the stuff that you grab. All right, this is going here. What do you guys think? I need to hear from you on this. Where should I put? I want some diamond dust to add some glitter to this. Do you think I should put it all over the image, just on the bird, just on the greenery? Oh, I want to know. I'm not sure. I can't decide. Okay, I've got to make a mental note in my mind's eye. Here's the bottom. Here's the top, and the glue needs to go over that whole section. I need enough glue to cover that whole section. Oh, maybe we'll use up this bottle now. Maybe it'll be gone today. I'm happy because I have lots of those bottles in the shop, so I have plenty of available for myself to grab and use one. But I don't know why it makes me so happy. Does anybody else feel like that? When you use up a product, you're like, yeah, baby, finished up that white bottle of paint. You need to buy a new one or open up a new one that you've had sitting, waiting to be used. I get it. I get that, like, a serious excitement too. It's the most bizarre thing, but it does happen. Okay, I'm going to go over it again. So it's all wet with glue. I'm going to go over it again and just smooth any bubbles, or this one has a bubble and I just think it needs a little more wetness to get it to sit down. So I'm going to add more. Be very careful and go slow, because when you wet the napkin, if it's not already glued down on the page, you may end up tearing it. So be slow about it. And I'm very light-handed generally, especially when I do these last strokes here. Very, very light-handed. Okay, this just needs to dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip these all together and set this aside. Another page in my napkin keepsake journal. This is an acrylic brush, a little acrylic brush. I use this for glues and it's fabulous. They're so fabulous and easy to clean. Hi, Cheryl. How are you, darling? I'll be live again tomorrow at 10. Cheryl, I've been posting the weekly schedule in the Telegram channel. And this has been a month that I've been doing this. The Craft Therapy Club members get the weekly schedule first on Sunday. They get the schedule. And then on Monday, I post on the business page, the public business page, and to the Telegram channel, the weekly schedule. So you know exactly when I'm live and where. Vicki says, just use the diamond dust on the greens. Nancy agrees. Shelly says all over. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Jana, like kind of a frosty winter feeling to this. Do I take pages out of that book when you want to art journal in it? This one? No, this one is a spiral bound, so it can hold all the pages that it has. So no, I do not. And this one is a keepsake journal, so I don't intend to ever take these pages out. I'm just going to leave them in there because each one has a napkin on it. And this is like kind of my scrapbook, my keepsake of all the napkins that I've used. The whole thing. Deb says, diamond dust, the whole thing. Love it. Virginia says, just the greenery. Hi, Nancy. Thanks for saying hello. Janet says, just the greenery. It's kind of a little bit here and a little bit there. Oh, Jenna's saying that Chris is going live again. Well, please don't leave me, girls. Please don't leave me. You can catch Chris later when she's, I'll probably be on for another 10 minutes. You can grab Chris's live after that, or you can catch her as a replay, but please don't leave. I'd love to have you guys here while I'm creating. No, if I art journal in this, Debbie, and all I'm doing is adding color, it won't get that thick, right? I'm not expecting to add textures and other papers to it. I really love it the way it is. If I added anything to it, it would be a little bit of color, like maybe some watercolors or a little bit of acrylic paint to the pages to fill in the blank spots. Thanks, Mary. Thank you for staying. Susan says, sparkle the whole thing. I don't know, girls. We can always change our mind. I could do the image, and then if we decide we want the whole thing, we could do the whole thing after it. I think that this bottle is done. Wait, let's see. Can we squeeze anything out? Oh no, hold on. There's a little bit in the crevices here. The thing is, I don't think I want to use half of this and half Mod Podge, and I don't think I have enough of this to use for the diamond dust. So I'm going to put this aside and grab my Mod Podge. I just don't want to run out of glue for this, and I don't want to mix the two. So let me grab some Mod Podge. I'll use this. I have a huge bottle of Mod Podge Hard Coat, which I love for mixed media projects. It's not going to affect the diamond dust. It's still going to be my glue for the diamond dust. Oh boy, got to get it open. Cindy says do the whole thing. You like the greenery only. It's so hard to pick, right? Well, let's start with some greenery. Let's start with the greenery. I need a smaller brush than this because I need to be able to apply the, whoops, drop that. I need to be able to apply the paint specifically to what you want the diamond dust on, right? So it can't, or the Mod Podge, the glue. So you can't have a really big brush that's going to go over everything, right? You guys, now that I think of it, oh, first of all, before I do that, let me distress the edges a little bit. I definitely want it to be looking a little distressed. So let me grab a little bit of dark distressing. I don't like things to be super clean, like you know that about me. So if I come in and just add a little bit of darkness to these edges, I'm not going to go over my design, just the tag part. Make it look a little bit more rustic. It's subtle. It's not very much, but for me, it's enough to make me feel like it more matches my decor anyway. So I rub it on the straight edge of the project to get the edges dark. And then I flatten this out a little bit and I go over a little more so that it comes down into the paint job so that it doesn't look like it's just on the edges. I want it to look like all over, just a little bit distressed, right? So I want to make sure I come down into these other paint areas. I'm not adding more ink. I'm just using the residual ink that's on that pad and coming in with a little bit more. Just for me, it really softens the look. I would like to come in here. It's napkin right there. I didn't cut all that napkin away, but by going over that white napkin right there, it really does, like, see right in here, we have a lot of white from the napkin. It really does make it look super cohesive. Down here. Much better. Good thing we didn't forget to do that. Now, the diamond dust is going to cover all that. If we do the whole thing, the diamond dust is going to cover all that, which I don't necessarily think I want. I think I want just a little bit of glistening happening as though there's a little bit of frost. So let's start with the leaves, the greenery. I'm going to do the pine cone. Let's get that with some Mod Podge. And I'm going to streak this through the pine needles. I'm not going to do every pine needle. I'm just going to do streaks of it. So you're going to get a little glistening, but not, it's not going to be a big blob of glisten in the middle. It would just look like a blob if you just put the Mod Podge everywhere, then that's where the diamond dust is going to go, and it's just going to be too much. So I'm just going to hit, that's why I went with the smaller brush, just hitting some of the pine needles. So let's get some of this on there and see what we get. Let's use this to catch the excess. I don't want it to be too much. Okay, so I got it on there just like glitter. We're going to shake this around and make sure it really settles. I could add some in other places, but this isn't something you have to do all at once. You can layer this. We put this glitter on. Let's shake it off. See what it does to it. And then when we've seen what, whether we like that, we could always come back and add more. I'm going to use this and brush off. Like, I know I didn't put any glue down here. So I'm going to brush the diamond dust off the bottom because I didn't want any down there. I didn't put any on this greenery here. So I shook it off best I could. But now we're going to brush off where there's no Mod Podge. Because I know I didn't put any Mod Podge up here. I did it all in this area, but not one big blob. I just kind of drew it in. Okay, I'm going to hold it up to the light so you can see it. I use a brush because this stuff is little shards of glass, and I don't like feeling like I got pricked in my finger. Kind of wimpy that way, girls. Okay, I'm going to hold it up and show you. So it's not everywhere. It's just kind of focused on that pine cone and the pine needles behind it. Every year, my husband and I give our kids an ornament from each of us. So Lennon gets an ornament from mom, an ornament from dad. Gannon gets an ornament from mom and an ornament from dad. And on the back of the ornament, we write them a note about their year, about anything noteworthy, about, how proud we are of them, of the things that they've overcome over the year, things like that, and what we're looking forward to in the new year. So this would be a really good candidate for that because, first of all, it's a great design, evergreen. It's not too girly. We have both boys. And then the back has this really wide open space. So I think maybe this will end up being one of the boys' gifts. I'm really loving the way it looks. Now, to keep we put the Mod Podge underneath the diamond dust to get it to sit on the top. It adds a little bit of glistening, but not too much. I like it just the way it is. I'm going to leave it the way it is. Once I let this dry overnight, what I'll do is I'll take spray Mod Podge, and I'll use the matte version because I don't want glossy on this one. But I'll take spray Mod Podge. You could use any polyacrylic spray top coat. And I will spray this, and that will help that glitter stay in place. There is actually a glitter top coat that you can purchase that is specifically made for holding glitter in place so that when you handle your project, the glitter isn't falling all over the place. And I do equally use it on my diamond dust projects. You love it? Oh, thank you. All right, let's see if we can find, I think I'm going to do a simple burlap tie on it. Before I do that, let's see if we can't wrangle the bulk of this back into the jar. No need to throw it out. Then what I'm going to do, there's still some on here. I don't know if you can see how sparkly it is. I put this, I'll deal with it later. I'm going to put it in the garbage just so any of the extras fall in the garbage can. And then when we're done, I'll take my like paper towel and I'll brush that off so it doesn't stick. Okay, so I was thinking burlap. Hold on. I also have this red stripe, which is kind of cool. So I have that red stripe ribbon. And I have burlap. Let me just see if I have a narrower burlap ribbon. It would be nice to have oh, this one's kind of nice too. I'm looking for a narrower one. But actually, I think I'm going to use this. I know you can't see. I'm on my way. I'm on my way, you girls. I'm on my way. I'm going to use this. This is jute that has silver threading in it. So it's got like a sheen to it. You probably can see the spool better. So it has silver, metallic silver threading through the jute. So it's really kind of nice for something like this. It's kind of got a rustic vibe with all the distressing and the natural vibe because it's a bird in a tree. we added that little bit of glitter just to give it a little glam. And so I think this is the best of both. Natural and ruddy jute with the glitter glam added to it, which it has both the ruddy and the silver metallic. So I think this matches best. I'm going to do a slip knot. Here's what I do. Slip knot. Then to make an ornament, I'll come up here and I'll just tie a knot up here. Pull it from both sides to get that really tight, and then cut off the excess down to that knot. And so that gives you a nice tie for hanging it on a gift bag, on a tree, wherever you want to. So how fun is this? So the one napkin panel, we have the art journal page. That's my art journal page that I'll keep for myself. I think I'm going to make this a gift to one of my boys. So the second panel went there. My third panel is in my keepsake journal. Not completely dry yet. We're going to let that just sit. And then I have the fourth panel, which just fell on the floor, I think. Oh, no, it's right here. The fourth panel is going to go, it'll be in the shop. Like I said, I sell the keepsake journals. They're altar journals that I've decorated the outside of the journal, the book, and then I give you 5 of these panels, individual panels that you can start your keepsake journal with. But you can use any book you want. You don't have to buy a special book. You can use any book that you want to keepsake your napkins. So there you have it. There you have it. All right, now it is 11 o'clock. We've been here for an hour, which is fantastic. We got through a lot. We had a lot of fun creating. I appreciate every single one of you for being here. Do me a favor and hit that button. It helps us so much, you guys. It has been really hard lately in FB world to meet new people. So if you found value here, hit that button and share it in a message to a friend who might like, to see what we did with these napkins, or share it on your own Facebook page. If it's something you want to come back to and watch again later, it'll make it real easy for you to find because it'll be on your own Facebook wall or however you think is best. But I appreciate it when you do that. All right, girls. So if you do want to shop my site, go to comfynestwithgrace.com. That is the website. I'll put it in the comments. And then go to the shop. I'm typing. Hold on. There's the website address. Go to the shop tab, and then you can shop around for, I have single napkins. We have bundles of napkins. We have craft kits. You can buy handmade items by me. There's a whole section about handmade items. I have decoupage glues and rice paper. I have foils and foil glue. There's lots there. Lots of surfaces that you can create on journals and books. So thank you for shopping the site. Thanks for being here with me, you guys. Oh, I'll show you my face one more time so I can actually say goodbye in person. Thanks for being here, you guys. I got to get Gannon to his ortho appointment. I was going to say ortho. My Boston accent coming out. His ortho appointment. We got to drive to Grand Forks today. So I think I'll be maybe taking one of my new books with me so I could do some reading. I actually have a little religious ed reading to do. I've decided to help teach religious ed this year. This is the first time I've ever done this, but I got the leader book yesterday. So I need to do a little reading in there. So I'm ready for next week with the kids. I'll be with 7th and 8th graders at religious ed. So I'm very, very excited about that, but also a little nervous because I have some prep work to do. So maybe I'll bring that reading with me. But thank you for the happy mail, Miss Missy. I appreciate you guys. See you later. Have a blessed day.